everyone, welcome to Carrie's Crochet and Craft. It is Sunday, December 15, and I am supposed to be at a market event today, but this is the same one that I went to 2 weeks ago, and as that one wasn't very well attended at all, I kind of sloughed off for wanting to go today at all. I have other reasons too, but that was probably the prevailing reason. So I have something in my eye, so if I'm like starting to rub it, I might stop for a minute. I've been trying for probably the last 10 to 15 minutes to get it out, and it's not happening. So if I start to like blink weird, that's why I have something in my eye. So anyway, yeah, I've been having a rough time this season because it was a year ago. Sorry. Maybe if I cry, my eye will clear out. It was a year ago that my mom's health really started to decline, so it's a rough season. But also, another good reason I stayed home though is my cat, one of my cats, Inky. He's our black, almost all black cat, and last night I let him in to the house really late. See, my eye's watering. Now it might bring out the whatever's in my eye. Anyway, yeah, I let him in late last night, and he just seemed out of sorts. Like, I opened the door and he was just kind of sitting there, kind of stunned in a way, and I actually had to, like, nudge him with my foot a little bit to get him to move inside the house, which he did, but he didn't come in far. He just came and sat like right by where my desk is, and there was a heater there that I had on, and he just sat there, and the fur on his back portion was kind of matted and like wet, but it was almost like it was wet from saliva or something. I don't know. He doesn't seem to have any injuries, no bleeding or anything like that. So I don't know what's wrong with him, but he just kind of sat there, and then his head would kind of like go like that, and usually I put him out at night, but last night I left him in because he just seemed out of sorts. And when I got up this morning, I heard him retching in the bathroom, or actually he was kind of doing a meow, howling meow type thing. And when I went to go look on him, he was in the bathroom and he was retching up. I guess it was bile from his stomach, a green bile from his stomach, and on the carpet and on the bath mat. And I saw off to the side he had already done some of that previously today. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stay home, and I mean, it's a good thing I stayed home so that I can nurse him and just kind of see what's going on with him. I did get some food out, for some soft food. I don't give the cats the canned foods very often, only very rarely. So I got some of that out, and I added some charcoal to it because I was wondering if maybe he was poisoned or something. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, if you don't mind, please pray for my kitty and pray for me, because it's horrendous. My year has already been so bad. I don't want to lose my cat too. So anyway, since I'm not at the market, I thought I would do some updates. I didn't do an update. See, there's my eye again. I didn't do an update for the market I had last Monday at the old folks home at the assisted living facility, and so I'll go over that with you. I did take some video of my setup there, and so I'll insert that right here. So my table was pretty crowded, as you probably saw. And the gal who was in charge of it, she said, "Oh well, you know, next year we can give you like a couple tables probably." And she was gonna let me. There were some round tables in the center that she said I could pull over if I wanted to, and I almost did, but then I just thought, nah, I'll just leave it the way it is. So there weren't very many people coming through at all, and the organizer admits that she didn't really get it as advertised as well as she did last year. And I mean, I only saw the post for them wanting vendors like the week previous. And I then got an email from them as well later that week after I'd seen that post. So they weren't as organized in planning it this year, and that's fine. It's free to attend, so it's not like, you know, it's money out of my pocket that's lost for not having very many customers. We did have customers though. I did sell to some people, and so we'll go over that now. And I lost my golden notebook, composition book. I can't find it anywhere, so I had to use this whole thing, which I used to use these. In fact, I used this in 2023. Yeah, 2023 to make notes of all of my record of all of my sales. So I just reverted back to using this. So I will say I think all of my sales were to, well, other vendors, the lady who organized it, and then one or two of the workers. So there were some of the residents who live there that came through, but they just liked to look at what I had. There was nothing I had that interested them enough for them to part their money with. So first of all, I sold one of my Mabel hens, only it was the rooster version of it. I sold a rooster and then a nest. I didn't have the heart to tell them that roosters don't really sit in the nest, but you know, we'll leave that to them. They do sit in the straw, I guess, but it's not like a hen laying an egg in a nest. But anyway, they bought a rooster and a nest, so that it was 14 for the rooster and then 5 for the nest, so that was 19. Then I sold one of the chickens for 12. So I have the chickens for 12, the roosters for 14 because they take a little bit of extra time and yarn, and then 5 for the nest. Then I had one of the other vendors came and bought, one of the other vendors bought that chicken. Then one of the other vendors bought one of those baby hats with the bear ears. They bought the newborn one in pink because they're expecting a baby granddaughter this year. So that was 18. And then I sold the crochet candy cane that I had to the same vendor that bought the chicken. She was trying not to buy, spend all of her money, but she just couldn't refuse the candy cane. So that was 15. Then right at the end, I was starting to pack up, and I don't know if she was a worker who brought her mother or how they were related to the facility. I think they must have worked there or something. They came right at the end as I was packing up, and they wanted a chicken, so I had to bring out all of my chickens from the bin. So they bought a chicken for 12. And then last year at this event, there had been a worker that came through, and he had asked about a rat, and I think I've shown the rat in my other video about my inventory that I had left over from last year. And so he had asked, well, could you make a rat? And I said, well, I can find a pattern. So I had found a pattern and I had made the rat, but even though I had his phone number, I never called him and said, hey, I've got your rat for you. So I've just been setting it out the last couple vendor events. And anyway, he came through right at the end. The program was ended, the event was scheduled to end at 2, and he comes into work at 2. So the organizer called him and said, hey, your rat's here. So he rushed in, and he got there 10 minutes before 2. I was packing up because there were no customers, so a lot of us were packing up like 20 minutes ahead of the end time. But anyway, he got there in time, and I was able to sell him his rat for $8. So, well, I had down how much I made. Now I need to, I had told my husband how much I made. I think it was 84 total, but let me do the calculations just to make sure. 19 plus 12 plus 18 plus 15 plus 12 plus 8. Yeah, $84. So last year I think I made 153 is what I said last week. And so considering there weren't very many customers at all, and most of my customers were other vendors or people who worked there. So I made over half of what I made last year. So not the best, but it is better than 2 weeks ago at the other event that I was at, where I made $39 minus the $25 fee. I should be getting refunded for the market today because I had prepaid for it. And since I'm not going, they were going to see about getting me my booth fee back, which is nice because that doesn't always happen. Usually you pay a booth fee, and if you don't go, it doesn't matter, you've lost it. So hopefully I'll be getting that back. I haven't yet. But I also prepaid for next week at the same place, but last time and this time it was a Hello Kitty or Sanrio themed event, and my stuff didn't really fit in there. But I think next week is more of a maker's event for handcrafted, that type of thing. So I think it's going to be a better event for my style of customer. So that's the update for the markets. Let's move on to, trying to decide which order to do it in. Let's go to the Hobbii Advent Calendar. So last week I'd opened up bag number 2, and it had these cute bags in it, but it had these cotton yarns. Looks like color number 5 got left inside. And it was to make a primrose tea towel. Come on. Ugh, don't you hate it when these come off? Maybe it came off this end. Okay. Oh, we got it. We got it. We got it. You know, these cotton yarns are kind of nice because their ends to pull out from the center actually have this little tag on it. Ha! And I just noticed. It says easy start. Very convenient. So this was a size 1 yarn, and to make the primrose tea towel. And I printed it off. I showed you a picture last time on my phone, but I printed it off. So that was the tea towel with color work. And so I printed it off, and the pattern information says, conquer your fear of crochet color work when you make the primrose tea towel. I don't have a fear of crochet color work. This used an inset mosaic technique. Okay, that's fine. Customize your cloth by changing the border color, arrange your, okay, yeah, not important. So, okay, looks good, right? Until you get to the pattern itself. It is not a written out pattern. And this was very frustrating for me. I like my patterns to be written like patterns, regular patterns. You know, I try to be open. But this is what it is. Okay, this gives you directions for like how to read, because this is what it is. This is what I have to follow. A chart. And it's very confusing to follow. It's just, I got very frustrated with it because, okay, I maybe didn't read all of this clearly, I mean fully and completely. I just kind of skimmed over it. So it is partly my fault that I didn't completely understand how to read the chart. Because I didn't understand that when you read the chart, you read it from bottom to top, because this is row 1 down here. And then when you're reading the chart, you have to read this way for row 1, or no. Yeah. This way for row 1. This way for row 2. This way for row 3. That way for row 4. Okay? So you have to keep track of which way to go on the chart, and they have no indications of which way to go. That's why I added the arrows there, so I could know which side to read the chart from on which row. It's very confusing to have to say, okay, which row am I on, and which way do I read it from? Left or right? Not my cup of tea at all. And then, so on the chart you have these 2 symbols. Okay, first of all, here you have a single crochet here, and that says up here, border stitch, right? And for me, when I hear border, I think it's the border around the outside. Okay, no, what they mean is the first stitch of every row is a single crochet. Why can't you just say that? In fact, it's very easy to write out. I'm not going to get into that. So, very confusing to know which way to follow the chart. And then the symbols, okay? I was going to show you the symbols. There's an X and an O. And the O means to chain 2 and skip the stitch below, or the chain 2 space below. And then the X is to double crochet in the skipped stitch 3 rows below. And you don't know, just from reading that you're supposed to stitch it in front of the chain 2 spaces, go down under and bring it through, and then finish the stitch in front of the chain 2 stitches. So like the first time I was doing it, it was like, well, first of all, I missed that it was supposed to be stitched in the row 3 stitches below. I just did it around the chain 2 stitches. Well, that wasn't right. And I also did it like a normal double crochet stitch, where you go under, you into the stitch, you yarn over back here, and then you bring up here, and then you finish the stitch. That wasn't right either. You have to go first here to find the X or the O, which one you're doing. Then you have to go here, and yes, this is quick to memorize, yes, but when you're first learning it, then you have to flip over to here to see, wait, what does that mean? And then you have to skip back over here to say, oh, which color am I using in which row? Because down here, they've got the rows this, that color, rows this, that color. And then, alternate colors every 2 rows. And then, in the meantime, keep track of whether you're following the chart from the left or the right. Anyway, you can see this gets me into quite a tizzy. So, I did get some of this done. I will show you how much I got done. I did not finish it. I don't know when I'm going to finish it. I want to finish it because I think it's pretty, but this chart drives me crazy, and I might just go through and write it out as a normal pattern is read, because it's very easy to just follow the written stuff. Change to color B, next row do this, next row do that, change to color C, you know, rather than looking at the shades here and saying that's color 1, that's color 1, 2, that's color 1, that's color 2, that's color 1, that's color 2, that's color 1. Is that color 1 again, or is that color 3? Because then you have to look at the rows and see when you're supposed to change the colors. And then you have to come here and count, oh, how many rows have I done? Oh, yes, okay. And then keep track of the pattern of the, I really just need to stop. Keep track of the pattern for the mosaic. Reading the chart frustrates. The fear, what they name it, the fear of crochet color work. I've done crochet color work following a regular pattern, and I have no fear. I have no fear of that. I have no fear of this. I have a great dislike for it. Anyway, enough of my rant. Okay, so this is what I got done. This is the colorway for the first 10. It's actually supposed to be for the first 14, but I've only gotten 9 rows done. That's all I've done. Oh, and that's the back side. Sorry. This is the front side. So the double crochet, you're supposed to go through down to the row 3 and go through the loops down there and work the double crochet on the front side. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be neat. It's just I have to deal with not getting frustrated every time I have to look at the chart. So I think I might spend some time and just go through and write out the pattern the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, this one is one advent calendar project that is not getting done, that did not get done this week, and it will not get done for some time because I have way too many other things that I want to work on. Okay, thanks Hobbii, but I have to do a no-go on the pattern, the written pattern for this. I like the project. I could have done it a lot faster with a regular pattern. So, anyway. What have I been working on this week since I wasn't working on that? And I wasn't working on more items to sell at the market either. My son texted me and said, hey, remember that hat you made me? I made him a navy beanie cap. Last year or the year before. He wears it all the time in the winter. And his girlfriend has just one winter hat, I guess, and it's kind of old, and it says Canada on it. It's got maple leaves. Not that it's anything bad against Canada. I think it's just worn out and old. She's had it for a long time, and she wants a new winter hat. And so she told my son, oh, I think I'm going to go buy a hat. And my son had had this idea already to ask me to make a hat for her. So he kind of had to convince her not to get a hat, and she kind of guessed, of course, are you going to get me a hat? Oh, and anyway, it's not going to be the surprise that he was hoping it would be, but he still asked if I would make a hat for her. And so he told me he wanted pink, and I went through my pink yarns, and he chose the color. And so this is what I made. And then I asked him if he, after I completed it, I sent a picture of him and I said, I could add a pom-pom to the top if you wanted, because his doesn't have a pom-pom. And he says, yeah, that might look cool. So this is it. Very simple beanie hat. It's just a rectangle. What I do, 11 inches from top to bottom. Boop. And then however many rows to go to fit around the head. I have a 22-inch head, and this fits nicely on me. And her head is probably going to be about the same. So I just do double crochet, working in the back loops on each row. And then at the top, I cinch it in, and then you can fold the beanie up. And then I made a pom-pom to go on top. So this hat, and then something else that I made, well, let me show you. I figured, since she kind of knew she was going to get a hat, that I would add something else to the mix that she doesn't know about. So I used the rest of the skein of this pink to make a matching scarf. And I used the same double crochet in the back loop only, and I made it, I'm going to say it's approximately 6 feet long, because this is how I measure yards. I learned growing up that a yard of fabric, if I stretch out my arm as far as I can that way and then turn my nose that way, that's about a yard. So I just did that about twice and made it, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7 rows wide, because then I was running out of yarn. I didn't have any more or enough left to make another row. And I also wanted to save some for the pom-poms. And since I didn't have enough to make big full pom-poms, I added a cream color in there, as you can see. So the yarn that I had, the pink yarn that I had left, I split into 3. So I measured it out, how many yards, and then the one for the hat, I actually gave like an extra 1.5 feet or so to make the pom-pom, and then the other 2 portions were put into the pom-pom. You can see they're slightly different sizes there. So I then added the a cream color. I thought about using pure white, but I kind of liked the I don't know, the more vintage feel that the cream yarn has with the pink. So she's gonna get a nice matching set. It's not often I get to make pink things for people because I have 4 boys and I have 2 nephews. So everything is boy stuff. So it's really nice that my son has a girlfriend that I can make girly things for. Okay, the next order of business is this week's Hobbii Advent Calendar. Here it is. Let's get this opened. Week number 3. I'm not going to say anything about last project. Okay, I already peeked inside. All right, what shall we pull out first? A measuring tape, because I don't have enough of those. Oh, well that's interesting. Oh, it's kind of a leather feel. If it's not leather, it's a leather feel case. And one of those things. So how do you retract it? Ooh, you press it. Boop. I like these little types of measuring tapes that roll up like that. I have another one and it's lost on my desk at the moment. But it's got a little heart on it. That's so cute. I love that. Okay. What else? Stitch markers. Sorry, not charms. A Santa and a Belle stitch marker. I never use stitch markers. So I'll have to find something else for these. Maybe I'll have a project where I do actually use stitch markers, but I usually tend to like to use just a piece of yarn as I'm crocheting in the rounds because it's so easy to just pull out and flip through and put through the other side or put on for the next row. Charms take time. You have to stop. You have to put them on. You have to take time off of. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Okay, next we have a book, a notebook, and it's just a bullet or the dot pages on there that you can use like for bullet journaling. So that's kind of cool. A little journal for keeping track of projects or something. Okay, and then I think what's left in here is is that something there? Nope, that's just the tag for the bag. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Friends Extra Fine Merino. So we have a size 2 weight. Better than the cotton, which was a size 1 weight, although it feels about the same. It looks about the same. How do they determine these things? So size 2, 100% wool. So merino wool, 50 grams or 1.75 ounces, 16.5 meters or 180 yards. And we use a size 4 to 4.5 millimeter hook or size G 6/7. All right, I wonder what we're going to be making with this it's a very kind of light, dusty pink, antique rose color. I doubt they have the color on here. Yeah, it's color number 52. So let's pull out the email and see what the project is this week. I wonder if it'll be a hat. We already made a hat though. Do you think they'd have us make 2 hats? Let's see, where's my email? Ah, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Okay, I thought I'd seen it earlier. Let's do a search. Hobbii. Oh, come on. Oh no, look at Santa's sale. Last chance, Santa came by. Here you go, second Sunday Advent Calendar. Why is it not giving me the... Oh, there it is. It's finally Sunday again. Have you already taken a little peek? I did. Just today though, not earlier. Want the magic to remain a mystery? Stop scrolling now. Nope. Ooh, I don't want it to remain a mystery. Okay. We are making, that's going to be pretty. Hold on, I'm getting a bigger picture for you guys. Very pretty. Let's see if I can open that in a new tab so we can get it bigger. And now I lost the name of it because it's on the other, oh, got the window. Look at that. A very fine and delicate shawl, although I think they called it a kerchief. Snowdrop kerchief. All right, liven up a chilly winter day with the beauty and elegance of the snowdrop kerchief. This mini shawl gets its charm from a beginner-friendly crochet lace pattern worked from the bottom up. The arced picot border is the perfect finishing touch. Well, this will be very nice to drape over a dress for church or something like that. That's kind of pretty. My camera stopped recording. So anyway, that's going to be very pretty. And I like the color too. It's kind of a, it's a light pink, but it's almost like a neutral pink, Oh, I was going to look at the pattern and see. They call it Dusty Rose. I almost had the words right. That's funny. Dusty Rose. Those are $7.80 normally, but they're on sale for $4.80. So you could go pick up yours right now. If you wanted the Dusty Rose, it's in stock. So they have a free pattern. Not a bad price. It only takes 2 of them. So, this will be nice to get started on. I think I'll enjoy working on this one, provided the pattern is normal. Okay. Is that all? I think that might be all. It's just been a rough couple of weeks for me. So we'll see how the rest of the month goes. I hope you guys have wonderful holiday seasons. I'm tired. I went to sleep late last night. Yeah. I'm trying to have a good holiday spirit, but this season, it's been a rough year for me. I've had, of course, I had my video update I had a couple months ago, but yeah, I don't know if I've even updated on the last one, but I had another loss in October of my 7th and 8th grade teacher, and so I've had eight losses this year. And so with my cat being a bit ill this morning, I'm like just in tears because I can't lose somebody else or something else this year. So prayers please for, I don't even know what to pray for. God's comfort for me. That would be great to have that. Yeah. But it is the Christmas season. We celebrate Jesus' birth, even though he was not necessarily born at Christmas time. So it's a good time to celebrate giving, celebrate being with your family, and just enjoy something that brightens the day. It can be gloomy outside in winter. Where I live, we get a lot of clouds, we get a lot of fog. There was once a radio ad played for our area where they promoted 300 days of sunshine a year. And I just scoffed at that and I said, yeah, and they don't tell you the other 65 days are fog. It's not that much fog, but we can literally get up to 20 days of fog throughout the winter season. And sometimes 3 to 5 days of fog in a row. So it can get pretty gloomy here in our area. And even though we live on the sunny side of the state, the winter time here gets rather gloomy. So I always make sure to take vitamin D to help boost your because that affects your mood, your outlook on life, the levels of vitamin D in you. That's why getting out in the sunshine is good, because it actually improves your outlook on life. And so if you don't get that sunshine, get some vitamin D pills to take. It will really make a difference in how you think. It's not that it like alters your brain. It just helps you have a brighter outlook on life. And it's a natural thing that your body does. So anyway, if you're feeling down, try to find something cheery to do. I would not recommend the I would not recommend the primrose tea towel. I'd better leave it at that. I have a market next week and the final week of the Hobbii Advent Bag. So if I don't do another video before then, I will see you next week. Have a good and happy holiday season. Bye.